Her work instantly became a hit with her debut novel, Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. And it was such a big hit that she got a double whammy deal, like two really big deals, a big publishing deal and a feature film deal. So her book is already going to become a film. Today she's going to be joining us to talk all about it. A.F. Steadman will be joining us right here on Sidewalks Entertainment. Here to talk about her debut novel, Skandar and the Unicorn Thief, I'd like to welcome A.F. Steadman to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, as an adult, you've brought a world of magic to life in your debut novel. Now, what were you like as a kid, and what type of fictional characters were you into?
So I loved reading as a kid. I was the one who was borrowing kind of 12 fantasy books at a time from the library. That was me. So I loved anything with kind of dragons. So I was a big fan of Eragon by Christopher Paolini. And I love Ursula Le Guin as well, the Earthsea books. And yeah, I loved mysteries too, and anything with animals. So I kind of read everything, but I think magic was always the thing that I came back to.
So how did you begin your career as an author, and what's the backstory of how you got Skandar and the Unicorn Thief, your very first book, published?
So I actually used to be a lawyer, so I studied law at university. But I had this idea about 8 years ago when I was doing my law exams.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, and I just had this image come into my mind of a boy riding a unicorn, but it didn't look like it belonged in a fairy tale. It looked like it belonged in a nightmare. And I had this idea, and but I went back to law, but I never really forgot about it. And then about 4 years ago, I started to write the manuscript. And I sent it off to an agent with the subject line, "Bloodthirsty Unicorns." And luckily the agent didn't delete it as spam. And he liked it, and and it went out to publishers in September 2020, and the Simon & Schuster won the auction for it, and Sony Pictures bought the film rights in the same week. So it was a whirlwind week.
Oh wow. Now, I could only imagine that you must have been on like a roller coaster of emotions. That is so amazing. And it seems like it happened so fast.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable as well. And it was kind of during the pandemic. So everything was on Zoom, as it is. And so it felt so unreal, because I was just thinking, I've just dreamed this. This can't be happening.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, okay, we're going to backtrack a little bit. Now, before being published, even as far back as childhood, what was the very first fictional character that you ever created, or story that you've ever created?
So I wrote, my first book was about pirates and spies, and I wrote about a girl called Isabelle, who was training to be a kind of young spy, and she had red hair just like me. But I think that's when you're a child, you do make these characters that are like you. And even now, I take things from my friends or from myself and put them into the book. But yeah, Isabelle was her name.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a great story. So how old were you when you created Isabelle?
Probably about 13. And I was really determined to finish the book.
Wow, that is so awesome. So pirates and spies.
Yeah.
That actually sounds really, really cool.
Oh, it was fun. I've still got it, so.
So for those of us who have been missing out on the adventure, please tell us a little bit about your debut novel, Skandar and the Unicorn Thief.
So Skandar is set in a world of warrior unicorns, elemental magic, and unlikely heroes, and it follows 13-year-old Skandar Smith, who is desperate to become a unicorn rider and bond with a unicorn on the island. He's from the mainland, but he wants to be a unicorn rider. But when he's due to take his exam that will determine whether or not he'll become one, things go quite wrong, and he ends up having a lot more danger in his life than he was expecting.
So even with just Skandar's name alone, I mean, it's such a unique name. It's really cool. You could already expect really big things from this main character. Now, where did you get the idea for his name?
Well, I think, so my brother is called Alexander, my younger brother, and sometimes Skandar can be used as a shortening of that name, and I think that's where maybe I heard it. But as soon as I thought of it, I just thought that's perfect for that boy that was riding that unicorn in my mind. And it sounds kind of epic and individual. So I went with it, and he's been called Skandar from the beginning. So
nice. So how long was the story of Skandar just an idea in your head before you put it down into words? And where did your inspiration come from?
So I guess it was about 5 years since the initial idea. And I think a lot of the inspiration came from books that I'd read as a child that I really enjoyed. But also I really love mythical creatures because I feel like they always seem like they could exist, right? So, you know, there are unicorns recorded like in 400 BC. There's records, and then there are tapestries and paintings of them, and you think they do feel kind of real, and that's what I ended up playing with in the book. This idea that unicorns, we'd suddenly find out that they are real and deadly, and they live on an island off the coast.
Yeah, deadly unicorns. So what do you love most about Skandar's story?
I think I love most about it is how Skandar finds friendship, because he is bullied on the mainland, and when he goes to the island, he finds these people that really accept him for who he really is, and I love that he's not your typical hero, and actually he can't really be a hero on his own. He needs his friends to help him be that person, and I like the message that together we're always stronger and we can achieve great things.
Now, earlier you mentioned that you did sign a movie deal with Sony for a film adaptation of Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. Now, what can you tell us about this film adaptation, and how involved will you be in the production of the film?
So I've actually read the first draft of the script, which is very exciting. John Croker is writing it, who worked on the Paddington 2 film, and he also writes some horror films. So he's a great combination for Skandar. And I read it and I just thought, this is going to be amazing. People will love this. So yeah, we're quite far along. It's really exciting.
So if they asked you to, would you be willing to be in the film? I mean, even as just a cameo, would you be willing to do it?
I don't know about that.
That would be awesome.
I mean, if they were like, please, if they were begging me, maybe I would. But I feel like I'm better on the sidelines, you know, talking to them about the book rather than on camera.
But that would be so neat. Like if you were in the film and you were maybe like one of the unicorn writers in the background, that would be really neat for like, I mean, I know your fans would love it. I would love it if we saw you writing a unicorn. That would be so awesome.
I guess I would kind of love it. If I got to kind of ride one of the unicorns, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So how much has your life changed since signing these major deals?
I mean, so it's changed so much, and I think one of the main things for me is that I've been able to kind of help my mum out with money and things like that. It was something really important to me, and I think it's changed so much because I'm finally doing the thing that I dreamed I could do. I think I was always searching for that thing when I was doing law. I knew I wasn't kind of fully happy with it, and now I feel so much more settled, and I'm going to be writing about unicorns because there's 5 more books, so I'm really happy.
5 more books. That is awesome. I'm very much looking forward to it. So what can readers expect in your next book?
Well, so Skandar and his friends are a whole year older, and they're in their 2nd year of training. And you can expect a lot more epic adventures and also a lot of elemental weapons. So we've got flaming spears and lightning bows. There's a lot of action.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Well, I am very much looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you.
Sadly, we are out of time, but it was so lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me on the show.
Everyone, that was A.F. Steadman, author of Skandar and the Unicorn Thief.
All right, thank you, Lori and AF. That's so cool for her. She's made her dreams come true. Congratulations. For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit us at sidewalkstv.com, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on social media.